Hey everyone, time for another book review. It is cloudy and rainy here in Florida where I'm at. I hope it's a beautiful day where you're at. Thank you for all the comments I got on my review of Into the Water. I really enjoyed hearing what you guys had to say. Sounds like I had some people agree with me and other people were, they enjoyed the book a little bit more than I did. But I really appreciate your comments. Keep them coming. And don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe if you want to keep seeing videos like this. So, continuing on. Our book for today is Salt Houses by Hala Alyam. And I apologize if I pronounced any part of that incorrectly. Arabic is not my first language. This was published this year. And it sounded really interesting. It actually popped up on my Goodreads as an ad, as a sponsored ad, and I don't usually click on those, but this one I did. And I'm pretty glad I did. It's a generational tale, spanning from 1963 till today. And it includes a lot of major world events, like the Six-Day War, the reign of Saddam Hussein. You hear mentions of, it sounds like Bashar al-Assad, my mouth is not working today, 9/11. It also covers personal events in the family, like the near radicalization of one of the grandchildren and the gradual Americanization of the later generations of the family. The average Goodreads rating for this was 4.13. I actually gave it 4 stars, so pretty much on point with what other people were thinking. And the story starts with Aaliyah's wedding, and they are sitting around waiting for the mom to read the coffee grounds for, a prediction of the daughter's life and future. And it's a bad reading that she gets, including, again, my notes. There would be a wedding, a journey, lost houses, and an unsettled life. And throughout the book, you see this pretty much come through. There's wedding, she gets pregnant right away, or pretty quickly, and they move from house to house, from city to city, pretty much moving with changing family dynamics, but also keeping ahead of war. You see, specifically in the Six-Day War, Aaliyah, the reigning matriarch throughout this book, she loses her brother, who was also her husband's best friend. He dies in the Six-Day War in prison. And it's something that kind of haunts them throughout the book and keeps making an appearance even to later generations. So, and you see a lot of, it's not overtly anti-Israel, but it's more against the Israeli army and the aggression towards Palestine and towards Gaza. And, I will admit one of the downsides to reading this is it's kind of my own fault when it comes to Middle Eastern politics and geography. I admit I'm a bad Jew. I know just enough to get me in trouble. You'll hear in other videos, I am much better at talking about Korea. Middle East, not so much. So reading about this from the point of view of an American Jew, looking back on history from the point of view of a Palestinian family, forced to kind of keep one step ahead of the Israeli army, it was a little jarring, and it was uncomfortable in a good way. It kind of gets you out of your zone of comfort, especially in America. I know I have watchers in other countries, but especially from the point of view of an American Jew, or even just an American, is like, yeah, Israel's good, da-da-da. And I have actually gotten into this discussion before. Just because I am pro-Israel doesn't mean I have to agree with everything Israel does. And that is kind of like one of the uncomfortable things about this book, is seeing it from the other side, where you see, okay, no, it wasn't necessarily such a good thing. But again, I do kind of wish I had a better understanding of the forces at play before I kind of read this book, because while she does make a good description of things, it's not a history book. It's not, by any means like a commentary. It's just a story. Um, so the story ends with Aaliyah getting Alzheimer's and kind of not devolving, but you know how Alzheimer's patients with dementia get, you know, if you, the description at the end I felt paralleled very well with Still Alice. The way over time, towards the end, she's just like, this girl grabs my arm and I think I'm supposed to know her, but I don't know who she is, so I just smile. If you've never seen the movie or never read the book, read the book. The book Still Alice is amazing. In Salt Houses, there are a couple of themes that come out, and you see one of them is the young breaking with the old and asserting their independence, their personhood. It felt more violently as each generation went on. You went from Aaliyah pretty much telling her mom, "I'm never going to veil. As a Muslim, I'm not going to wear the veil." That's her own assertion of personhood. Down to Suad, who just blatantly, "Screw you, mom," and they have it out one night where Aaliyah slaps her, and Suad actually, "Okay, mom, bye," and she turns the light off in the room with her mom still in the room. And you see the grandchildren end up like in shouting matches with their parents about what their childhood was like. Also, very interesting theme, the role of the veil itself. Like I said, for Aaliyah, not veiling was kind of an assertion of her personhood to her parents, but specifically for Riham, one of Aaliyah's daughters, it gets interesting. With the decision to veil, she makes her parents kind of uncomfortable, kind of like, good Muslim, bad Muslim, the not as observant Muslim, and now they have this very observant Muslim daughter. But also it changes how other people see her. In one scene, Riham is meeting with other mothers in the neighborhood, and she mentions that, they see her as a child, or she imagines she's being treated as a child. But then when it comes to the grandchildren, it's mentioned that they see her as more adult than their parents. That she has this added gravitas that really adds weight to what she has to say and the guidance that she tries to give. So I thought that was really interesting. And also you see the theme of missed connection. So at the same time that, you have the push of, no, I'm my own person, I'm not like you, I'm not you. You also see this pull of, I still want to be part of this. And unfortunately, I tried to find it, I couldn't find it. I might have been looking too fast. But you see in two separate scenarios where one character says of a preceding character, a preceding matriarch, "I just wish I had gotten to know them before, like before they died," or in Aaliyah's case, before she got Alzheimer's, "I wish I had had a chance to get to know who she was." So you see this push and pull of being a part of something and also being apart from something. So that was kind of cool. And it's stuff that I see, in my own family and other people's families, talking to my friends and, coworkers and stuff. It happens. It happens to everybody. It's a growing pains, pretty much. So interesting points. This point, it like got something in me, but it was really, I can't put a finger on what exactly it got in me. Um, it's a chapter about Lena, and she's talking about how, she would hide and wait for people to come looking for her. She would hide in closets or under the bed and hear their voices break with fear until finally she'd appear. She never understood the anger that would bloom then, the yelling. "I'm giving you a gift," she always wanted to say. "You thought I was lost, but I never was." And I don't know exactly how I would have reacted as a like a teenager or a young adult, like pre-parent reading this. I can't say with any certainty what I would have said, but now for me as a parent, I totally get the role of the parent. Like, WTF? What the? So, I would have, as a parent, like if my kids did that, oh my goodness, there'd be expletives all over the place. Yes, I am that parent. But I found Lena second to, in second place for my least favorite character, right behind Suad. I don't find her likable at all. And just reading that, like, I gave you a gift. Like, I can see so many people from high school and college who never outgrew that mentality. Like, I'm just so wonderful. I'm giving you this gift. You thought I was lost, but I wasn't. It's like, meanwhile, you little, you created a situation that scared me in the first place. Like, if you had escaped from a hostage, maybe I'd be like, "Oh my God, you're so good, so wonderful. Oh, thank you." But it's like, you're the one who hid in the first place. No, I'm not thankful. Like, yes, I'm thankful nothing happened to you, but you're going to get your butt beat. Moving on. But yeah, that's, like, that right there, that is everything I went through reading that that passage, and it's just like, I really don't like you. Like, I hate you as a character. And even another, I wish I could remember which character it was. It might have been Border. She said, "She is a bad influence on my boy." It's like, yeah, I can see that. I agree. But on the plus side, now that I've looked at my notes, on the plus side, looking at her and that thematically and, English classes mentality, it does kind of speak to the reinforcement of meaning, that we mean something to someone else. That, and it's, I don't know if you guys have, I'm sure some of you have, if you've walked away at a party and you're kind of waiting to see, like, if your boyfriend or girlfriend or whoever, someone comes looking for you. You want someone to come looking for you to kind of reaffirm that, yes, I do mean something to the people here. I do mean something to someone here, that they notice when I'm gone. It kind of spoke to me like that kind of situation. And especially if you ever see the movie Leap Year, yes, it's a rom-com. I only saw it once out of curiosity. I didn't inhale, They have a saying, set off with the fire alarm and see what they run for first, what their priority is that they go for first. And at the end of the movie, she, it's a fire alarm, and the guy, like, goes for his laptop or something. He goes for the technology, and at that point she's like, "Oh, revelation, I gotta go back to Ireland and get that guy." So it's kind of like that. So, end of rant. Anyway, and then the other interesting thing, and I'm interested on you guys' take on this, the sex scene at the end between Alia and Atef. And by this point, okay, first off, let me preface, it is not overly gory. It is not overly, like, her heaving breasts or anything like that. I think it was very tastefully done. And I know some people would probably be if not freaked out, then a little, because it's like, ew, grandma and grandpa having sex, ew, because that's pretty much it. They're two old people having sex. Um, I thought that was kind of an interesting inclusion, just because like it's mentioned that other characters, got pregnant out of wedlock, was sleeping around with American boys or whatever, but this is the only couple that actually have a sex scene that I recall. I could be wrong, let me know if I am. Um, but it's between two old people and one of them has Alzheimer's. So that was kind of interesting to me, and it reminded me of the debate within the last couple of years about, can a couple where one of them has dementia, can they actually have a sex life? Because how do you assess consent in that case? Um, So it reminded me of that. It was kind of like I don't have anything specific to say about it, but it was interesting. So definitely, I'm interested in hearing your thoughts on that scene if you've read this book, or if you want to talk about old people having sex with dementia. Feel free. Throw some comments down there. So overall positives of this book, like I said, I gave it 4 stars. I really enjoyed it. The writing felt very real. It could, I could see any, well, okay, not any of these scenes, but most of the family scenes I could see playing out in my own family. You get together for the holidays and all of a sudden people are shouting at each other and you never, da da da, blah blah blah, whatever. I can see it happening in my own family, and it felt very like I was there and just like, yeah, I've been here. So I thought that was very well done, very good. Um, there was no unnecessary sex or violence. It was very matter of factly written, very straightforward in its telling. Maybe you could count Atef and Aliyah. Was that unnecessary sex? I don't know. I'm still ruminating over what its exact contribution to this story was, what it was supposed to mean or say, or if it was just, hey, two old people getting it on. Whatevs. I felt each character definitely had a distinctive voice. You could definitely see a different mindset with each character, where they were coming from, their perception of their family, whether they were running away or running towards. And I thought she did a really interesting and good, but interesting job with Abdullah, the child who's like on the path to radicalization and the take of the family. Because you see, in the news today, not to get political, but you see in the news today where someone gets radicalized and everyone's like, how could they not know? And their family must have sanctioned it, and, I wouldn't let my kid do that, blah, blah, blah. And I think within the past couple of years, there was actually a guy who turned I think he was actually a sheriff, who turned his son in for, he recognized that he was starting to go towards that extreme view, and he actually turned his son in. But it was kind of interesting seeing this family where everyone's just like, I see it, I don't know what to do. And then Aaliyah just comes out as like, if you think they have your interest in mind, if you think you're special, you're an idiot. It's like, okay. Like, good job, Grandma. And I did feel like there were seamless transitions through the generations. You hear and see, the birth of one child, and then before you know it, that child, is a little bit older, and then the next chapter is told from that child's voice. And I thought it was very seamless. Like, I've read other generational tales, one of them being Pachinko, which, you can check out my list. I did a review of that too. But generational tales can be very, very hard to do without becoming monotonous and repetitive and, kind of jarring. I felt this was very smooth. It went very well. I really enjoyed it. It also gave a glimpse, and this kind of speaks to my initial point where, my knowledge of Middle Eastern politics and geography is spotty. It gave a very interesting perspective on the evolving heritage of Palestine. Is it a land? Is it a people? Is it, it's ours, it's theirs, we're missing it. And between generations, My family's from there. I live there. It was taken from me, down to the subsequent generations where it's more of an abstract thing for them. You know, that like a little cup inside that they're trying to fill with something. You know, and it kind of reflects back to the evolving view of Israel before it was established after World War II, where, you know, it's a land, it's a people, it's, you know, it's abstract. Israel is the kingdom of God, and, you know, we're entitled to this land, no, you're not, you know, that whole thing leading up to it. So it's kind of interesting to see that parallel, especially today where, you know, two-state, one-state solution, you know, trying to find peace in the Middle East and all that. So I thought it was very well written, and it's very relevant. Like I said, I do wish I had a better understanding of the stuff underlying it. You know, I may just have to look more into what's specifically going on over there. No, I'm not going to get political in this video. I'm not going to, you know, give my personal views on the situation over there. But it's, I think this is a very good and very relevant book to read. So I do highly recommend it. Salt Houses by Hala Alyam. You know, new release. Your library probably has it by now. So go check it out. So what I will leave you with, what are your views on generational tales? And what is your view on that push and pull? You know, being a part of something and apart from something. If you've read this book, tell me what you think, especially about that sex scene. You know, please let me know what you think. Don't forget to hit like, and if you want to see more videos like this, hit subscribe. I'm happy to do more videos, and I love seeing new subscriptions to my channel. Comment. Leave me comments, and stay tuned for more videos. More will be coming, I promise. And until next time, readers, have a great day.